Alright, so now what we have is we understand that there are two different aspects to ourselves. Nature gives us a will to survive, or an instinct to survive. But the other part of ourselves is the ability to be able to rationalise and to be conscious of other things and other beings outside of ourselves. This is what we're calling the soul. It's what we take with us. It's not bound to matter. So, when the survival instinct is dominant, we will compete with everyone. So when our energy levels are either stressed or too high or erratic or too low, we will begin to compete because we're placed into, your survival instinct believes that you're being placed into a position of danger. And I'll explain what those dangers are in a minute. But that is your trigger for danger. Because if we take, for example, energy being high, usually that's regarded as when you're being chased. If you could actually go on to the next one, I might do it. No, I don't. Okay, just very briefly. When you've got the most adrenaline in your system is generally when you are being chased or you're in some kind of physical danger. When adrenaline hits your body in massive doses and stays there, then your survival instinct interprets that as danger or as being chased, and immediately your fight or flight response comes on. Now, the problem is because your survival instinct doesn't think, when you've got a lot of adrenaline in your system, you're still in fight or flight, regardless of whether or not you've just had an argument with your wife or you're being chased down the street by a thug. It's acting or reacting in exactly the same way. That is either fight back really strongly to win or do anything you can to get out of there. One of those two results just switch on. Now, the other part of being us, this is all very, basic and limbic so far, but it becomes really complicated with human beings because human beings have to live in groups. Now, we're not, because of our consciousness, we can't be like bees. We're not just drones and go out there. So we're individuals, but we have to survive in groups. We can't do it on our own. We're just not independent enough. We're not strong enough, fast enough, or poisonous enough. So the way that we get along is by cooperating and working as a massive unit. So whole tribes can hunt and whole tribes can build and create, but single people can't do that. The hunter can't go out and build things and hunt at exactly the same time. So what we do is we've learned about niches. And so sophisticated societies, what we do is that one person will build the hut, or one person will make the weapons or smelt the minerals, while the other person grows in the field or goes out to hunt or does whatever it is. And by this cooperation of talent, we end up growing as a society, and that's how we secure ourselves. So it's really important for every single individual to be able to have a sense that they can contribute to the group. Because if they don't feel as if they're contributing or can contribute to the group, their survival instinct goes haywire. And the reason for this is because of famine. Okay. So its only purpose is to keep us alive. Now this is the next thing that you really have to understand. First of all, it doesn't think. Second of all, its sole and only purpose is to keep us alive. Understand that there is a difference between being alive and being happy. They are not the same thing. The survival instinct is completely unconcerned about your happiness and is completely unconcerned about your relationships with other people and whether or not you're getting along. That's not its job. The survival instinct works by defending itself against life's most consistently dangerous threats. So, what we have is, even though in our brain we have, like gazillions of neurons, and I think that's an exact, precise amount, because we have gazillions of neurons in our cells, we can take in vast amounts of energy. But all of the activities that are happening around us require most of those neurons just for day-to-day living. Memory, because neurons are finite and rely on a network to piece them together, there's only actually so many memories that it can remember. So, the most important memories are the ones that have the biggest network donated to it. And the most important memories as far as a survival instinct is concerned are the memories of the dangers that we have experienced and how we got ourselves out of those dangers. So, what this means for us is that when we're born into this life, what I'm going to call our unconscious is in fact what I think is our survival instinct. Not repressed memories, not getting in touch with higher selves or anything like that. I just think that our unconscious is what is natural to us. It's our real nature, right? Because it's what nature has given us. And what nature has given us is not only the patterns of how to survive and how to find niches, or the best way of you being able to fulfill that niche, which means that it is specialised, but also to how many the memory of danger and threats that have gone on in the past. Now this is where the traditional roles become really important. Okay.